terrifying crash and splash landing for certain. According to one passenger, the plane came down so hard upon landing that it actually bounced the plane back up into the air, slammed back onto the runway, shot off the runway, through the perimeter fence, and ultimately 100 feet out into the St. Johns River. Keep in mind, it was very stormy around that time of night. A lot of rain had come down and lightning was in the air, and it was total darkness as well. In all, 143 people on board made it back to land after being rescued. A little bit wet, but most importantly, alive. That's 7 crew members and 136 passengers with a very, very scary story to tell. The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office and Fire and Rescue immediately responded, and Marine units with boats helped with the rescue. According to passengers, once the plane came to a stop in the shallow part of the river, everybody exited the plane and stood on a wing to wait for the rescue boats, just like they did, you may remember, a few years back on that Miracle on the Hudson in New York. The 737 charter plane, operated by Miami Air International, flies twice weekly between Guantanamo Naval Air Station in Cuba to Norfolk, Virginia, with this stop in Jacksonville. The passengers on the plane were a mix of military, civilians, and dependents, all heading back to the States for some vacation and others to go home. An NTSB GO team has been here all day.
The pavement is not grooved. What that means is a grooved pavement allows water to flow off the runway faster in the event of heavy rain. We don't know if that is a factor yet.
It is very, very early in this investigation. Keep that in mind. The plane ended up in the shallow water where it still remains. Part of its nose broke off during the crash. No word on when they're going to float or tow that plane back onto land. A lot of jet fuel has leaked, and containment booms are surrounding the boat right now. Investigators have recovered the flight data recorder in excellent condition, and it's in fact already off to the lab. The cockpit voice recorder, however, is in the tail of the plane, and it remains underwater and unrecovered. And there were an unknown number of pets that were on board that plane, not in the seating area with all of the passengers, but down below in the belly of the plane in the cargo hold. These were cats and dogs from some of the passengers traveling with them. That part of the plane remains submerged, and not a good outcome for all the pets, sadly to say.
Yeah,
Rick?
No doubt. Phil Keating in Jacksonville. Phil, thanks very much.